something I couldn't agree to, but given the nature of your reporting, that would happen.
So some of them were women who did not want to be quoted, which might, I don't know, to me that was a little surprising. You'd think the women would be dying to tell their stories. There was one woman who, she's the only person unnamed, the only woman unnamed in the story, maybe the only person unnamed, because it's quite a long, several pages, her experience. And she said to me, this had happened to her when she was a graduate student, and she left MIT feeling really terrible about the way she was treated. And she was now in her mid-60s. And she said to me, I still have a lot of scar tissue from that time. So that was, to me, it was the power of the story and the damage that can be done for people who have these experiences. It's not a trivial matter. What was interesting is I went to speak at her university, and she came and she said, well now, I think it was partly reading the book and seeing that her world didn't fall apart. She sort of outed herself to a group of students and faculty, which was kind of interesting. So of the men who wouldn't speak, one was a Nobel laureate who told me that my story was fake news. Literally, this is fake news and I'm not talking to you. So I just said, it says it's fake news, and who else? There was someone else, and so what I tried to do was say to people, is there someone who can speak on your behalf? And it's pretty much reporting around those people and finding documents that you can use. And I was really, and this is again a credit to the power of Jim Watson. Jim Watson says to Nancy when she begins to experience these problems at MIT, he says you have to write this all down because otherwise, people won't believe you. So you have to write down in real time. What was interesting is there are at least 2 other episodes in the book, including the woman who I mentioned and another faculty member. We're also given that same advice by men in the field who said, write this down in a letter and send the letter to yourself so that there will be a postmark on it, so nobody can tell you that this didn't happen, that this was not your experience at the time. So that was really striking to me. But I was really helped by Nancy's real-time diary because it allowed me to corroborate other things. There were also, in the beginning of her career, there were letters. By the end of her career, people were sending emails, but there were some other emails that just made reference to things that were in her diary, which made me think, oh yes, this did happen, and I was able to corroborate. One person sends an email, and oh yes, that corroborates what Nancy said in her diary. There wasn't that much that I hesitated to mention, to be honest. I mean, I probably could have gotten into some worse. Oh, there was someone else who, does attempt to assault Nancy. It's a friend, and they go home after a dinner party one night. He drops her off and tries to come up to her apartment. He was unnamed and did not want to come.